What's going on, everybody? It's Tristan
And Jackson.
and we are here with Cory Patterson, the mastermind behind our art gallery that's going on the 24th out of the Woodwork. So we'll dive deep into who Cory is, what he's done in his life to get into where he is now, and then we'll talk about our event.
Yeah.
So take it away, Cory. Give us your introduction.
What's up? I'm Cory. I like to make images. I'm a photographer. The body of work that we teamed up on, kind of carries through some of the travels I've been on. I was like campaigning with some surfers and doing some photography work with them, and just kind of takes you through a little journey of like what I saw in Costa Rica and Indonesia, Bali, Mexico, California. I was out there living for like the last 13 years, so kind of just like picks it apart. I went outside of the realm a little bit, and not only am I printing like photographic pieces of work, but I also I guess some people would say it's mixed media. Like I kind of off on the on that term of when it comes to art, but for me it was like more of like destroying photographs and kind of putting them back together. So yeah, that's kind of I guess where that journey goes with out of the woodwork.
Sweet. So where are you from? You're from this area, right?
Originally, I'm from Gull Lake,
Okay.
Kalamazoo area.
Awesome.
Yeah, I graduated out of there, lived out there for a while, moved down to Florida, I was in California, went out there on a surf trip, kind of fell in love with it, and then, yeah, I've been out there for, like I said, the last 13 years. And then moved back to the Sturgis area and interviewed with a company out there. They're a production company called Hype. They do like advertising, photography, video work. It's a couple dudes, and they're just really outside of the box, and ended up going full time with them. I think I've been with them for like 8 months. Really cool dudes, and really enjoyed the job. So ended up coming back and taking a DP, director of photography position with them. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
That's about the time that we met you down when we were at the Cargos, right?
Yeah, it was like right when I came back into town. I actually ran into Giselle. He's kind of on the list for one of the artists at our show, which I'm super stoked on.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, where do I get a cup of coffee at? I was like, I got to get a good cup of coffee. And he sent me over to you. And that was that day that me and you met.
That's
up
awesome.
over there. So, yeah.
Not gonna lie, the first time I saw you, I was like, oh man, this guy's coming up full tattoos. And I was like, am I okay? He was like, can I just get a cup of coffee? I was like, oh yeah, absolutely.
we do that.
We do that. And then I don't know how it started, but we just started talking about stuff and art, and
We were looking for a sign.
yeah,
I think that's really where it kind of started and kicked off. And
yeah, but we literally the first day we just started talking about random shit, and then I don't know, things happen.
Yeah, art. Yeah, trying to get some things moving around here in BC too. I know we got some events going on, but I don't know how you guys feel, but I'd like to see this come back to life.
yeah, I would too.
We absolutely do.
And yeah, I mean, you got to start small, little event like we're throwing here.
Yeah.
Do a few of those, bi-monthly, every other month, or monthly, whatever.
Right.
And people just get more used to seeing that stuff, and then it's something to do.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And especially like being able to branch out and hopefully get like a little community of artists around here too. Like that's one thing that with this body art that I really liked is that I carried it through a lot of different places. Like I worked on it a little bit. I picked up a random show in South Carolina, and I worked on pieces of art like everywhere I traveled, because it's kind of like I can work on it anywhere. I can work on it in here. So I worked on some in California up in this old Topanga Ranch. So, and then in Florida, I had this little pocket of artists that were just like home to me. I have this dude named Marcus Zotter and Molly. He owns Independent Tattoo down in like Fort Myers. And we get together and we work, and it was awesome to get together with other artists and just vibe off each other, make art. Like collaborate. Probably the same thing with you guys making food and coffee and doing stuff like that. You guys kind of come together and you build this community. So I really kind of want to build that. Like I think it'd be a lot of fun to like do art nights, get other artists. I'd love to link up with Giselle and work around him a little bit, because when you get around each other like that, you can really come up with some different ideas, and it's fun to see it progress through your work too.
So from what you've picked up from all these communities that you've done art and kind of intertwined in those communities, what have you learned that, like you said, when you get together do that, but like what kind of events and things work to build that community?
What kind of events work to build that community? Man,
What
I
did you
think
guys do?
we just have art shows, man. Quite honestly, like Molly, he had down there, he had a tattoo studio, but then it was like had a big long L, and he would just have shows. We'd do the same thing. We'd make some flyers up, invite people out, try to build that community up around that. I had an art gallery. It was like a very short little period of time down there. Had like two small openings, and so people would filter in. And there's a really good art community down there, and they just do events, like just like you said, just starting off, like getting people to show up, and it just kind of builds, and they really developed their own little art scene there. But even in LA, dude, like you go to little pockets, dude, they didn't exist, and then all of a sudden there's this like little art district over here, the artist, you know what I mean? And it's people that come together that make that, you know what I mean? A lot of times it might not even be the city doing it. It's just like people like us, like some dudes getting together that appreciate art and they want to see more of it. That's kind of what I learned, is just like doing it. Don't sit around and talk about it. Just have a show, you know what I mean? And because you can do your best and make it a good little art show. So that's kind of what I've learned, is just like, don't think so much. Just like do, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Kind of the cliche, if you build it, they will come.
Yeah. They only got cornfields around here too.
We do.
We do. Yeah. So I was just gonna say, it sounds like a really great idea, because as long as I've been living here, I don't really ever remember an art show. Really, I will admit I'm not really in that community, but I don't remember it ever happening. So I'm really, really pumped that we're going to start here, and we have some plans to go a little bit further down the line to do stuff like that, and anything to build up this city culturally.
Yeah,
it's not just going to the bar, hanging out, or having bonfires or whatever. Just other things to do, because we always get that, there's nothing to do in Battle Creek, it's all the same old. This is something new, so hopefully people will
start
come and enjoy it.
Yeah, over the time, we've had little pockets of people. I think there's some like dude, I can't remember his name, maybe like Eric or something like that. He had that little corner lot, had a little art gallery there for a minute. Arcadia tried, and then Brownstone tried for a minute. You know what I mean? So there's always been like little pockets, but it's like about just keeping that thing alive, like building something that people will like. More of it will come, like, because how awesome would that be if like the next person down the road saw you guys doing it, and then there's one popping up over here and over here, because then more people come through. So you get more art, and you get more to see, and you just kind of, like I said, start building that community. So I'm stoked, man.
I know Justin Andert's been doing that for a couple of years with Color the Creek, and doing the street art and the murals. So I'm excited to kind of just add to what's already existing. We've talked to him a couple times already. I know he's got a friend named Taylor. Have you met Taylor?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so he's been here, kind of like you. I don't think he was originally from here, but he found his way into Battle Creek and knew Justin somehow, and has been working with Justin for the past 3 years. Kind of just, like you said, building that community and just putting stuff out there, and then getting people interested, and hopefully getting people to come together.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what's up with you guys?
Not much.
Yeah, let's talk about you guys for a minute. What's your guys' plans? You guys just moved here. Like, I'm stoked to see what's going on with you guys too, huh?
Our plans are to build something great. People can appreciate things like art, whether that's picture form, video form, written, spoken, music. That's eventually our plan long term, and our, I guess, forever homes, considering this is supposed to be a temporary as of right now. So that's our plan. Take it day by day to get to that point.
Yeah, sure.
Doing stuff like this helps.
Yeah,
just getting involved in the community more than just a business owner or a shop owner is really what our long-term goal is. I mean, we want to build up Battle Creek and make it a little bit more, I don't know, exciting, culturally exciting, just exciting for everybody, because, you live in California. Midwest is slow to develop things. And we know it with coffee, because we see coffee trends that are on the coasts, and it takes like 4 years for those to get Nevada.
Yeah, I've always joked that it's like we're like 5-6 years like behind the
Yeah, like
the
with cold
other
brew,
guys.
you know, people are like, oh man, like we had a lot of people that never heard of cold brew at all, and we were like 4 years behind people on the coast because that's where they, you know, it started out there, and it's just finally making its way, you know, inland, and so I'm sure it's that way with art and stuff like that too, just not just, you know, food and trends, just all trends.
Oh, for sure.
So anything we can do to help speed that process up and make this
That's the thing,
a diverse town like that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. There's plenty of people here that do that, and like are into that, and are wanting something that can bring those people together. It's just like I would say whether it's not consistently being done, that's why it's kind of slower to catch on, or they just stop doing it after a while, and then it takes, you know, another people have to boot up another thing, and that takes a while because, you know, it's a new thing, new community.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably consistency, because I mean I think that's the same with everything. I mean, if you only do something once and then it doesn't work, we're never gonna do it again.
Right.
You're never gonna
try,
because how many people don't go to the first thing because they want to see if it's cool. They want to see if other people go. And so if you do 3 shows, you know, that third show might be the one that's packed.
Right.
You just got to build that, and I mean, we found that out business wise. You know, some of the little events we've gone to, you know, just as a vendor or whatever. It's just it takes a little bit of time to get people used to it. Like I'm sure Lila Palooza was not as big as it is now the first year they put it on.
Right.
But now it's huge, and everybody in Battle Creek knows about it. And everyone wants to go. And so you know, hopefully we can do something like that with art and our shows, and people get pumped and excited to see them.
Well, I know as an artist, like I'm stoked and grateful that like I have a spot to like put some art up, put out. You know, that's always a great platform to put yourself out. So like me, I appreciate it, man. It's really really cool for you guys to open up, and show the hospitality to like me and Giselle. You know, everybody that's gonna come out and have drinks. Dude, that's what's up. You know.
Well, I mean that's why you guys do art, right? So other people can see it.
Yeah,
like, I mean,
sure.
If you did it just for you, no one would ever know you did it because
Right.
I'll be at home. But I mean that's like
say art. It's always just for me, but I like to see if other people are into it. You know, it's fun. You know, to like as a visual maker to like let people see your vision as well. Like just like here, like look up my skirt, man. This is what I'm making. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of fun because then you can take it back, and even if it's a bad critique, maybe somebody doesn't like it. I love just kind of like being a little fly on the wall and watching people's reactions to work, and it really kind of pushing the limits sometimes. Even like when you curate an art show and bring in other artists, like sometimes it's fun to throw like that random guy in, just to like watch people's expressions. They're like, whoa. But then you'd be shocked by some of the people and the demographic that will actually appreciate that and actually view it as art rather than some crazy thing. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of fun to do that and just like kind of witness what people's reactions are. And then, like I said, I kind of trailed off there, but then you can go back and revisit your body and really start, for me, like polishing it and put it together. And each show for myself is actually like came tighter and tighter and tighter till you kind of found yourself as an artist.
Kind of find your niche.
Yeah, for sure.
So when did that journey start where you were like, okay, I'm interested in art, and then you're like, okay, I'm interested in photography. All right, now I'm interested in doing this and that. Like, where did that start in your journey?
All right, well, hold on. I mean, we take this last sip.
Yeah,
this coffee's great, and I really do come by their coffee. I wasn't just saying that. Yeah, I mean, for me, photography started back in high school. Man, I took it as an easy A because I needed another like form of art because we were doing something where you had to like get so many credits or whatever. It was like that when I first rolled out. And I took it and I went and did the newspaper course, and we had to shoot a roll of black and white film. And my teacher, Penny Briscoe, just like took me under her wing. Was like, hey, yeah, you know, you actually have an eye and can shoot. And I went and developed this stuff, and I honestly didn't even notice. And then I like stepped back, and that's when I started looking and really paying attention to images and the way it functioned. And since that day, like I honestly haven't stopped. she put a fire underneath me, and you know, you get grateful for teachers like that, because without her, dude, I would have never known. Like, and I was like, well, this is my career path. She helped me get a job. Then I went to work with a dude, and I think he was in either Augusta or Galesburg. His name was Gary Yonkers. He still is a photographer here in town, and he kind of took me under his wing and put me in the studio, and I was just like going out with him on shoots, and he like polished me off, and we still talk to this day. Great dude, and he's a great photographer. And then I just kind of went off on my own ever since, and it's been doing whatever keeps the camera in my hand, artistically. And art for me has always kind of been something that I've always been into. You know, like back in the day, I had this skateboarding company just because I like to like make boards and I skated, so it like gave me an outlet to put some art on, right? You know, and so made some great connections, and I've always just kind of like formed it out. But photography has always been my passion, and never let go of it. And yeah, it's just, you know, it's hard. It's definitely art is not an easy job. Like, you know, it's a struggle sometimes, but man, it's worth every second of it. You know, I've been doing it for like since 99, 98.
That's 20 years.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah, that sounds old.
So as you're progressing, you said you did whatever it took to keep the camera in hand. What kind of things did you, I guess, sacrifice? Like, because I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that are starting out like you were back then, finding their way, trying to make this their career path, and I'm sure it's not a quick process. But like, what were the things that you did to keep doing that?
Is that the hard work?
Hard work.
Yep. Just like grind. Like always looking for that next project. You know, always trying to like find something to do. You can't just like sit around and like, hey, I'm an artist. I make something, hire me. Like you got to grind, man. You're always out there trying to work. You know, that's really what paid off for me. I could say, you know, got instilled in me by my father when I was young. It's just like made me work hard, and I just took those aspects into it and felt confident as a photographer to just go out and just work hard. You know what I mean? So really, that's what it was. Is like taking every avenue, man. Like, you know, whether it be camera or lighting, like I was always formed around something, but it always polished it off. You know what I mean? So I've had lots of different jobs, like from reality television to documentaries to feature films. You know, some local news, like, you know what I mean? Like all kinds of different things that were fun, but like round you as a photographer as well. So, but that's really it. Like just hard work, man.
Just like going out there doing it.
Like I said, like right at the top, like you don't sit around and talk about it, you just do it. Yeah. I mean, it definitely is. Like I said, it's a grind. Though. I'm sure that's like that with it. Like you guys are. To me, you guys are art. You know, you guys are making coffee, and you guys know, like you guys come out. You could wake up. You guys are here. You see on Instagram all the time, like 5:30 in the morning, your little booms. You know what I mean? So it's like you guys are on it, man. You know that grind.
It's definitely something we talked to with another person on our podcast. It's like everything has an art form to it. Like you said, coffee's an art.
For sure.
There's steps to learning coffee and all that, and then there's a craft. There's all this.
So what really got you back to Michigan? Like you said, you're out in California for 13 years, right?
Yep.
Was it your interview with Hype, or did you kind of want to come back, or what was the kind of like driving force?
Driving force for me was to get closer to family too as well. You know, I got some family out here, so get back a little bit closer to them. But honestly, like I was out in California working, and you know I was doing a lot of traveling too. You know what I mean? And once you get in that realm of doing all that travel, you know, it's like you get to a point. It's fun. Don't get me wrong, man. I love to travel, but it's nice to also pump the brakes too as well. You know, so Battle Creek's a good town to do that in. You know what I mean? I think it's a nice slow-paced town. And honestly, like that driving force, I'm not gonna lie, I was super intrigued by Hype, the job. You know what I mean? Not only being able to be closer to my family and my kids, but dude, the job is awesome. Like I came out and I really like went out on a limb and interviewed, just threw all my stuff in the van. Was like, let's come back to Battle Creek and let's see what this place in Sturgis is about. And I really like that. I threw all my ducks on that interview, and it came out to be awesome. You know what I mean? Like I was a really big choice for me to move back was to be able to you know, keep a camera in my hand as well. Like I wanted that. That's like my passion, dude. So like if I can be doing that, but also going to work with a company that is that diverse and having somebody that you can go to work and like always consistently think outside the box and come up with some of the most random shit. You know what I mean? I can go pitch them some stuff and you're like, man, are they gonna like it? And then they're always about it, like trying to push that envelope on, even if it's like going out and doing a commercial for like a vitamin company. You know what I mean? We'll try to come out and make something unique. So I mean, dude, that was a big part of what drew me, is because somebody's doing something different.
Right.
You know, I mean, I asked him in the interview, I'm like, man, I hate to be so blunt, but why the fuck are you in Sturgis? You know what I mean? And we all kind of laughed, and they're like, well, you know, we grew up here, and they've got a really cool building, and you know, it's kind of like summed it up. Like we really like working together, so we decided to come back. And homeboy is living in LA. Other dude, I forget where he was, but yeah. So I mean, that really drove me to come back, and just to see like the progression. Like I said, these little towns, you know, they're trying something. They're trying something new, but they're also like working in exactly where I want to be. You know, they're smaller outside the box, because you get into these bigger companies and you got networks and other people telling you what to do. It's, you still have an eye for it and you're shooting it, but it's really another person's vision.
Right.
You know, you're delivering to a client.
Yeah.
And even though we deliver to clients, to have a company that is really outside of the box like that, did you get to come into work and like artistically drain yourself every day? So it's a good feeling, you know what I mean, to be able to come into work and do that, because that's a rare opportunity as an artist. So
I think that's key to in today's society, is to think outside the box when you're doing stuff. It's, you know, there used to be a time when just the status quo was enough. Just being able to be consistent, and people wanted their stuff. They like knowing exactly what's there. But now you got to kind of mix like consistency with creativity.
oh, for sure.
Excite people every time. People got a short memory. You know, they're like, oh, that's not exciting anymore. All right, what's new?
Yeah, what's the next one? You got to catch them in like 5 seconds.
Right. Yeah.
Like how fast that finger scroll.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Good segue. So how has you know, social medias like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all that helped artists in that community kind of grow or not grow? Or...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's like goods and bads to it. You know, Instagram is definitely, like, all the social platforms are definitely like saturated with like all kinds of nonsense, but it also opens up like a big, broad world to communicate with a lot of people that I would have never had the opportunity to communicate. You know, like I've got to talk to some pretty iconic photographers like over the years, and just pick their brain, and they openly wrote back to me, and it was, you know, and had a conversation with other artists, and then met some artists. You know what I mean? Spaceback Killer is Sean Bernhardt, I think is how you say his last name. He's out of New York. Like we linked up. Like all these little connections that you make off of it, it's pretty useful for stuff like that. You know what I mean? And but there is like bads to it as well. You know what I mean? Like that whole thing. And I'm not even talking about like screen usage and stuff like that, but just like the oversaturation and artists kind of getting ripped off a lot. You know what I mean? Because it's so easy to just screenshot something and blast it and put it out there, and it's like, you know, like you said, it's like you still make art for yourself, but at the same time, it's opened up a world to like kind of take advantage of us. So I don't know, man. Like I keep it limited. You know what I mean. I show some art and I dip. You know what I mean. Like that's what it is for me. It's like having your portfolio fresh, for the world to see it like at a click of a button. So it's pretty useful as an artist. But
that's what I've kind of seen, that Instagram can be like a portfolio that you keep up to date, and you may not put all of your art out there.
Right.
Like you said, you could get ripped off, but at least you'll have somewhat of a recent, like, oh, cool, that's what you did. Oh, that's sweet. You know, just kind of like catching to get people's eye.
Yep, and I try to like just get that maneuver to my website, so they can actually see the real images and get in contact with me, and you know what I mean. And yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, like I've booked legitly have booked work off of Instagram. Like a couple ad campaigns and stuff like that. So, I mean, for me to sit back and say that it's not all a useful tool, but like I said, would be a lie. But yeah, it's a good thing, dude. Like, I just don't think people use it a lot around here. Is what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
Maybe I don't know. Like, but
I think Instagram around Battle Creek, and even I think really Michigan in general, if you're not in a hugely saturated city. Like even Grand Rapids, I didn't feel like it was used as much. It's definitely used more because there's colleges there. There's a lot of people there.
yeah.
Like you go to Detroit, New York, LA, like it's wild.
Wow.
It's wild.
Yeah, I mean the online portfolios is I first saw that looking for like tattoo artists. Like you just go to their the shop's webpage, and then they have all their artists. They have their portfolios on there, and so it's a really good and easy way to show people what you can do without them having to come there.
Yep.
And I don't want to say waste time, but use up time
For both people.
For both of you.
Oh, for sure.
So you can just look at the portfolio and say, oh man, I really like what this guy does. Let me book him. Instead of, say you're going to Kalamazoo, you go look at a tattoo shop, you drive over there, and then you look through the portfolio and realize, oh, I don't really want to use this guy.
Right. Yeah. I like how quick it is. Like you always kind of like you know the end on a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I use it a lot for music and like other art shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like figuring out when you guys are having pancakes and you know what I mean. Like that's how I learned it. Like like there's cool things about it. Finding out about cool events and stuff like that. So yeah.
All right. Well, I guess speaking about cool events, we are having one here. Shop 80 West Michigan Avenue, Suite B, May 24th. That's
This Friday.
Tell us a little bit about that, Cory.
Yeah. So this Friday, we're gonna have an art show. It's gonna be featuring myself and Giselle. He's gonna be doing some live art. We're gonna have an open bar. You guys can
Cash bar.
Not an open bar. Hold on, let me rephrase it. We're gonna have a bar that you can get drinks at.
There you go.
There we go.
The bar is sponsored by. You're gonna have to fill me in on that one.
The Battle Creek
Metropolitan Area Mustache Society.
Yeah. BC Mams.
BC Mams.
That's what they're
Mustache.
known as a lot. They are a nonprofit that kind of does this. They help put on events that help grow the community. They're not necessarily mainstream events, but just like artsy, fun.
They're a social club.
Yeah,
Social club, and then with all these events, they always have
philanthropic.
philanthropic.
Backing.
Yeah, so they have a nonprofit or organization that they donate some of the proceeds to. So they do Lila Palooza, the Festivus sled race,
the raft race.
The raft race that's coming up here, and they just do things all throughout the year to raise money and give
back
people
to
things to do.
Community, yeah.
That's cool.
And constructive things to do where people can have fun and it benefits a nonprofit.
Right. So we hooked up with them, talked to Ken. So they'll be here helping out. That's another thing they do. They volunteer for a lot of things because, like I said, they just want to help build the community to be the place that everybody knows it can be. It just needs some tender love and care.
Yeah. Super stoked to meet everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to become part of a little community and get out there, meet some other artists, have some good drinks. And well, we're going to have a new, what is it called, the Hardbach Cafe?
Yeah, the Hardbach Cafe that just got released this past weekend. Yeah, and from Territorial Brewing Company that uses our coffee beans.
Yeah.
So it's really, really delicious. I remember tasting the first two, which were also good, but the coffee flavor wasn't there. Yeah. And then they really nailed down this one. So we'll have a keg of that here. Like you said, we'll have our craft cocktails that our liquor lemonades that we make. We'll turn them into cocktails. We'll have
some coffee cocktails, maybe like a
Irish coffee.
Irish coffee, gold fashioned,
with some bourbon.
Yeah, also gonna have some White Russians, things like that. Things that kind of mesh with our coffee theme. Like our shop's theme kind of is bar-esque. So it's really not too far off of the theme we already have. So going to be featuring your art. Giselle's going to be here doing it live. I think it's going to be really, really awesome.
Yeah, I'm super stoked.
And that's also in conjunction with Spring into the Arts.
Spring in the Arts, which is a huge art.
Chamber of Commerce is putting on.
Yeah.
That's going to be around the river, which is technically we're on the river because it's right behind our building. And so, there's going to be a lot of shops and booths set up down there along the river walk. I think they said they're going to have river bonfires.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So it's a really cool like kick off to spring and summer. And
I know that Restore 269 is having their sign a stud in their record box down the street. So a lot of things going on that day. Hopefully we get a big turnout. Hopefully the weather cooperates.
Yeah.
Tell us what will everybody get to see when they walk into the art show here? Like concerning your artwork, like what kind of? I know it's theme, pictures and then it's transposed on wood.
So right? Like I said, the whole body of work kind of translates from all the photography that I've taken. Very ocean inspired, like a lot of empty waves, rooms for daydreams. You know what I mean? Like for me, that's what like photographs are about. It's like going back and revisiting memories. So a lot of that, everything's done on wood. Like all the stuff is hand transferred, except for a few prints I got printed off at a fine art printer. But all those are on Russian birch. So yeah, I'm really excited to finally kind of, like I said, put together this thing.
Yeah.
Playing with a couple other things too that you have to come see that night. Yeah, I'm super stoked on. Got a couple parts coming in, so polishing off a lot of pieces, but it's really what it's about, man. It's just like all out of wood, and it's been a fun form to work with, and it kind of takes me back to my darkroom days, using my hands and instead of being in digital form all the time,
It's pretty awesome. When you came by and brought samples down at the car unit, I was like, whoa, because I'm pretty sure there was a couple that, like the wave, you had popping out a lot, and then like right past the wave, it was more grainy.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Thanks, man.
All of those are going to be for sale, right?
Yeah. All that stuff is for sale. I'll have little tags next to it, and you can also commission stuff too, and and you can get a hold of you guys, and they can get through me or whatever, and and commission some stuff out. If anybody wants anything custom, you can go on my website and kind of put a theme together. But all that stuff's for sale, and if you want to buy, if you don't, come check it out. And give me an opinion, man. I'm always open. Yeah.
All right. Well, it should be a really great time.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It'll be another event for the community to come together and let more people see our beautiful downtown.
Yeah.
It gets shit on a lot, but I think it's a beautiful place.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
and we need more people to come down here and enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Come have some drinks.
Yeah. And where can people find you on Instagram? Like, what's your tag?
Instagram, it's at 10TEN _ TO _ TWO at 10 to 2.
10 to 2.
Yeah.
What does that mean, by
the way? It's funny. The time reference is I was going out to go shoot some pictures one day, and I was like, "Why am I walking out? It's like really not the best time. The sun's, I was like, I started having this nerdy photographer talk in my head, and I go, "Is there really a bad time to create?" No, there's not. So it just kind of like rolled off my tongue. I was like 10 to 2. So the whole time I was like walking around shooting that afternoon, 10 to 2. It kind of rolls off the tongue. So like I just kind of stuck with it, and there's a little like backplate story about how there's just never a bad time to create something. You can find something to do at all times of the day, night, day. Creativity always kind of comes out at you at the most random times.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
Yeah,
that's great. All right, so go follow him on Instagram. Come see us on the 24th this Friday. That's it, right?
Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for
you swing by the shop, every week, all the time. Love having you down here.
Yeah, thanks, man.
And glad we're finally able to partner up and do something.
Yeah,
hopefully we can do a lot more of this in the future.
It's been a couple months in the making, so
yeah. Get everybody coming down here so we can keep drinking this coffee. Good stuff, dude.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it from me.
Yep. That's it. So everybody, take it easy.